Okay, so the next topic here is in this series Western versus Vedic astrology. Now, before we move further into the signs, the houses, the planets, we need to clear up one very important confusion. This is one of the biggest reasons people get confused when they start learning astrology. Many people first learn astrology through Western astrology. They know themselves as, Aries, Taurus, I'm a Gemini, I'm a Cancer, Leo, Virgo, Libra, Scorpio, Pisces. And then later, they open up a Vedic astrology chart and suddenly their sign changes. Someone who always thought they were Aries now becomes Pisces. Someone who thought they were Taurus, now they're Aries. Someone who were Leo at the time and they always search for Leo, but they're actually Cancer. So the question is, which one is correct? To understand this, we need to separate two things: Western astrology and Vedic astrology. Two different systems. Tropical zodiac and sidereal zodiac. Okay, these are the measurement methods. How we measure the planet, where they are in the sky. We measure the degrees. These are not exactly the same thing. Most Western astrology uses a tropical zodiac. Most Vedic astrology uses the sidereal zodiac. So when people say Western astrology and they look at Vedic astrology, what they're usually talking about is tropical astrology versus sidereal astrology. That is the main difference. Both systems are looking at the same sky. We are looking at the same sky. Both systems use the sun. Both systems are using the moon. Both systems have the same planets: Mercury, Venus, Mars, Jupiter, and Saturn. Both systems divide into zodiac, 12 signs of zodiac. Okay, and both systems can create a birth chart. The planets are not different. The sky is not different. The difference is the starting point of the zodiac. This is the most important line to consider. The disagreement is not about where the planets are. The disagreement is about where the zodiac begins. In astrology, the zodiac is a circle of 360 degrees. Okay, this circle is divided into 12 signs. Each sign has 30 degrees. Aries has 30 degrees, Taurus has 30 degrees, Gemini has 30 degrees, Cancer has 30. So it goes on, and this continues through the 12 signs. So the full zodiac sign is 12 signs multiplied by 30. That gives us 360 degrees. The question is, where do we place 0 degrees? Where is 0? Because once we decide where Aries begins, every other sign follows the same from there. It follows 30 degrees from there. This is where the tropical and sidereal astrology will differ. In tropical astrology, 0 degrees is where Aries begins. Okay, at the spring equinox. The spring equinox usually happens around 21st of March. This is the point where day and night are approximately equal. That's the spring equinox. So tropical astrology is connected to the seasons. In this system, Aries begins from a seasonal point. It does not depend on the stars. It does not depend on the visible constellation of Aries. It is based on the seasonal cycle of the sun. So in the simple words, I can say that tropical astrology is season based. Okay, now look at sidereal astrology. Sidereal astrology uses the fixed star background. It measures the planets in relation to the constellation. So in sidereal astrology, Aries is not simply tied to the spring equinox, okay, to the season. It is tied to the star-based zodiac. This is the system that we use in Vedic astrology. So in simple words, sidereal astrology is star-based. This is why your sign may change. It does not mean one system randomly changed your chart. It means both systems are using a different starting point. Now, let us understand why there is a difference. Thousands of years ago, the tropical and sidereal astrology, the tropical and sidereal zodiacs were much closer to each other. Okay, they were almost the same. They all began at the same place. But over a period of time, the seasonal point and the star-based point slowly separated, because today there's roughly 24 degrees difference between tropical and sidereal astrology. The difference is called Ayanamsa. In Vedic astrology, we call it that. Ayanamsa means the difference between the tropical and sidereal zodiac. The different degrees. Okay, that's Ayanamsa. Different astrologers may use slightly different values of this Ayanamsa. Now, for example, some may use the Lahiri Ayanamsa. Okay, some may use the Raman Ayanamsa. Some may use the other Ayanamsas. Some different astrology will use different sort of Ayanamsas. Okay, but for a beginner, okay, for you to learn this, do not worry about this too much. You don't have to look into this. The main thing to understand this is this roughly 24 degrees difference between these two systems. That means if your sun is at 10 degrees in Aries, okay, for example, your sun at 10 degrees in Aries, in Western tropical astrology, the Vedic, the changes from the Vedic sidereal astrology, it will be for 24 degrees. It may move back by 24 degrees. Okay, so the 10 degrees in Aries minus 24 degrees here, it takes you back to Pisces. That is why a Western Aries may become a Vedic Pisces. The planet did not move. The calculation method changed. The reference point changed. This is what I want you to remember. The planet stays the same, but the zodiac reference change. Now, this is also why you should not panic when your sign changes. You're not losing your identity. You're not suddenly becoming a different person. You're simply looking at your chart through a different astrological system. Western astrology is usually looking at the zodiac from seasonal reference. Vedic astrology is looking at the zodiac from a star-based reference. That is the core difference. Now, another important point here is when people say, I am Pisces, I am Leo, they're talking about their sun sign. Okay? In Vedic astrology, we do not look at sun signs. We look at the ascendant. We look at the moon sign. We look at the planets. We look at the houses, the constellations. We look at the dashas. So even if your sun sign changes from Western to Vedic astrology, that is still only one part of your chart. It is not the whole chart. This is why Vedic astrology, when using Vedic astrology, someone may say, my Western sun sign is Aries, but my Vedic sun sign is Pisces, and my ascendant is Cancer. All of these are different parts of the chart. They're not the same thing. The sun sign shows one part of you. Just one part of you. The moon sign will show another part of you. The ascendant shows a different part of you. So a proper chart reading does not depend on only one sign. This is another major difference in how people approach astrology. In popular Western astrology, people often focus heavily on the sun sign. In Vedic astrology, many astrologers begin with ascendant or the moon. Okay, the ascendant shows the physical life, your body, okay, your personality, your direction in life, how you think. The moon will show you the mind, the emotions, your inner experience. And the sun shows your soul, your authority, your confidence, your status, how brightly you shine. All three are important things, all of them. In Vedic astrology, the moon and ascendant are extremely important for prediction. This is especially true because the dasha or the planetary time period system is calculated from the moon's constellation. We will study dashas later on in this series, okay? For now, which is going to be very helpful because it kind of gives you an idea about your own time period. How, if you're going through a bad phase, it gives you an idea for how long this will last, how long the good time period will last, ups and downs, when you should start a business, when you should get married, when should you do this. All that is seen through dashas, and that is the most important part. We'll look into it, but you need to study the basics first. Okay, in Vedic astrology, it's not just about the sun sign. It's a full chart system. Now, let us compare both systems simply. Western astrology uses the tropical zodiac. It is connected to seasons. Often gives you importance to the sun sign in popular astrology. It commonly uses modern psychological interpretation. Okay, in Vedic astrology, we use sidereal zodiac. It is connected to the fixed star background. It gives you major importance to the ascendant, the moon, the constellation, the dashas, the divisional charts. Okay, it is strongly focused on timing, on your life events, on house lordship. So when I teach astrology in this series, I will mainly be teaching about Vedic astrology. I can also teach you about Western astrology, but I want to focus on Vedic because it resonates with me more. Okay, that means we will use the sidereal zodiac. We'll study the ascendant, we'll study moon, we'll study the houses, planetary lords, how to look at nakshatras, what are nakshatras, dashas. Okay, and later we will study divisional charts like the D9, D10 charts, the Navamsha and the Dashamsha chart. Now, let us make this very simple. If you remember nothing else from this section, remember these 4 points, okay? Number 1, Western astrology uses the tropical zodiac. Number 2, Vedic astrology uses the sidereal zodiac. Okay. Number 3, tropical is based on seasons. Number 4, sidereal is based on star-based. The star is the reference point. Because these two reference points are now around 24 degrees apart, your sign may change between the two systems. This is the reason this is not complicated. There's no contradiction here, just different measurement systems. Okay, so from this point onwards, whenever I say a planet is in Aries, a planet is in Taurus, Gemini or Pisces, I am speaking about Vedic sidereal system. This is important to understand before we start reading charts. Because if you open a Western astrology app and compare it with the Vedic astrology app, the placements may not match. That does not mean the chart is wrong. That means that the system is different. Okay, in the next part, we'll bring this back to the birth chart. Now we understand the difference between Western and Vedic astrology, hopefully, okay? We can begin looking at basic building blocks of a Vedic birth chart. So we'll look at the sign, the houses, the planets, okay, in the next video.